and CEO of ShareLove.Fund. Today we are in our RPYT prenatal yoga teacher training accredited by the wonderful Yoga Alliance. We are in week 40 of week 52 of our yoga teacher training. And this week we are going to talk about shoulder stand as our pose of the week. We'll also do a meditation and celebrate our inaugural classes design on their mug. So we have our high school leaders program. We teach them business entrepreneurship along with their degree, and they created some merch that we're having some fun with today. So let's get a comfortable seated position. I invite you to get a block, blanket, hoodie, whatever is comfortable. Get a water, use the restroom. For those of you that are all ready for your seated relaxation, just focus on your breath. We'll work on a continuous breath. You can practice some of the breathwork techniques we learned in our last breathwork session. But for those of you that are not yet set up, I will give you a minute because I know we have a really nice energy when we do this live together. So I will give you a minute so you don't have to pause to grab your blankets, grab something comfortable to sit on, adjust the temperature in the room. See what serves you. Maybe take a moment to turn your phone off. We are live, blips and bloopers and all. So in the last class, I received several phone calls. I apologize about that. It's a practice, not a perfect. I need to figure out how to stop that on my phone. I don't think the focus always works, so maybe we need a youth volunteer to help me with the settings or something. If you are all set up for your meditation, you can start implementing some of the things we learned last class. And we'll just get in a really good mental state. We are all about optimizing and feeling like a goddess at ShareLove.Fund. Be a goddess. What we have is already inside of us. Sometimes we just need to dust it off and let the shine shine. So this is a guided meditation to instantly relieve anxiety. Of course, nothing here should be construed as medical advice, but this is the idea. Choose a comfortable seated position. Sit with your spine straight, either on the ground or in a chair, on the edge of the bed. Place your hands in your laps with your palms facing upward. So you can do this. And I'll take a few moments to center here. Gently close your eyes. Become aware of your whole body. Take note of how your body feels from your head to your toes. Inhale deeply and notice the air going through your nose to your diaphragm. Hold it for a few seconds and then release the breath. Continue breathing and notice your body relaxing every time you breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale. Become aware of any thoughts lingering in your mind. Identify the dormant thoughts in your mind. What is it about? Thinking is what the mind does. Do not get averse about the thoughts. Just observe them like a curious onlooker. When a positive thought pops in your mind, notice it as well and let it go without clinging to it. So don't differentiate between how you treat a positive thought or a negative thought. Just observe all thoughts as if they're clouds passing by without judgment or attachment. Take note of the feelings or feeling associated with the dominant thoughts and identify how those thoughts make you feel. If the thoughts cause you gross sensations or emotions, focus on your breathing, making it deeper. Use your breathing as a tool to work through discomfort. And yoga is about finding the comfort within the discomfort. You may find your mind wandering to the fears that you have about life. Do not be critical. Notice it, but do not pursue it. Notice the thought and let it go. Envision yourself on a beach. Imagine the sun rays diffusing in your skin. Notice the breeze blowing in your body, making you relax. Visualize the wind and visualize your thoughts as the wind, continuing to blow. As you breathe, the wind blows, and your breathing is continuous like the swirls of the wind, doesn't stop. And then notice the wind stop, but your breathing continues in its cycle without paying attention to the fact the wind has stopped. Notice now the wind sweeping past you as your thoughts keep changing. Remain calm and keep breathing. Remember that in this life you are expecting to experience some anxiety, You're bound to experience some anxiety at some point. You should never fight it. Instead, welcome the feeling and notice it as it's blown away by the wind. It's normal in pregnancy to feel anxiety, and you can just observe those feelings as they come. Sometimes you can stretch your neck and create physical space in the body through stretches and through breathing. When you experience happiness or joy, remain aware of the pleasant emotions, but without clinging to them. So try not to cling to the good things either. Just be indifferent, as if you're watching your thoughts on a movie screen. If it feels good, you can kind of pedal out your feet on one side, or you can remain still in the meditation. Begin to count from 10 to 1 at your own pace. Starting at 10, slowly breathing and descending all the way to 1. When you feel ready, become aware of the present moment. Pay attention to your breathing. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Shake your hands and legs. Move your head back and forth from side to side. Come back to stillness and gently open your eyes. Reacquaint yourself with your immediate environment. Look around and listen. And when you're ready, come back to awareness and we will start our yoga flow. So let me get our meditation book out of the way. So today our pose of the week is shoulder stand. And we will get into that by reviewing our sequence. So, as usual, well, first we should start with a quick warm-up. So we start in Sukhasana, our go-to warm-up. We can do some hip circles to warm up our spine, and hip circles the other way. Breathing into it, leaning forward and back, arms up, and rainbow to one side. Rainbow our arms to the other side. Lifting up again and dropping the shoulders, hands clasped together. Point to one side, keeping the shoulder from rolling forward, keeping the back aligned to the back wall, and to the other side. You can stretch the shoulder a little more as we do a neck roll forward and around 3 times. Breathing into it and the other way. Please go at your own pace. Here, when we go the other way, we'll switch arms. Please go at your own pace so you don't hurt yourself. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lean forward. Walk your hands to one side. Careful not to tweak or twist the torso. Keeping the torso aligned. Keeping this hip down, and we're just stretching. We're just stretching the backside body. Underarm area. You may even feel it in your hips. Keeping the torso squared so it's not twisting. Inhaling, arms up, coming back down to center, and walking the hands to the other side. Keeping the hip grounded and feeling the stretch. If you don't feel the stretch, you can walk your hands a little more, or you can modify. If you're a bit further along in your pregnancy, you may want to prop yourself up with a bolster or come onto your elbows. Continuing our practice from our meditation and our breath work last week, you can focus on a cycle of breath that has no start or end, and it's just continuous. And through each cycle, we gradually grow or exhale longer and longer to find the outer limits of our comfort zone. Coming up, we will take a deep breath, arms up, and then over to tabletop. We'll do some cat-cow to really loosen up the spine. Chin up, stretching the neck. Here, we'll just like move around a little bit to really try to get those nooks and crannies. Stretch and release. Cat-cow is safe during pregnancy. We can move our spine up and down. We just can't twist. So we can't wring something out. Like if you were wringing out a wet cloth, you can't do that with your torso. one side. Try to get a little deeper of a stretch. From here, we can do our downward puppy, back to child's pose. From child's pose, back to downward puppy, into cat-cow. From cat-cow, we can stand up to mountain pose. From mountain pose, exhale, forward fold. That concludes our go-to warm-up. It's a simple warm-up. Our system is based on repetition. You can add to it and spice it up. You can disregard it as a teacher, or you can just have it easy memorized and use it should it serve you. As all of you know, the SHARE method was developed to certify incarcerated women so they may have a vocational training degree. Even if they are illiterate, it is based on repetition, and we have that simple go-to warm-up so that anyone can memorize it. Slowly lift up vertebrae by vertebrae, and we will do our go-to sun salutation A. This is our plain chicken dish, no spices, and we'll just do it to warm up. This is our framework, and then from this we add in spicy poses, and we have all but one pose of our sequence D. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, but our plain sun salutation is Tadasana, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. So let's really warm up here. We can step on our hands, pedal out the feet a little bit to get a deeper stretch. If this does not feel comfortable to you, you can do a seated forward fold. And you always have child's pose at your disposal. For those of you that want to get deeper into your stretch, we're going to hang out here because it takes time. There are no shortcuts in life, and we have to do the work to get the results. And this is an inversion. A lot of benefits here. Hamstring release. Most of us sit in a chair too much. And this can stretch the whole back body. If you're pedaling out your feet, then I encourage you to pedal out the other side. A benefit of yoga is that we can be even on both sides. You can kind of modify this a little bit, like I'm doing a slight variation of the forward fold because that's where I need it to get deeper. You know, if you're not feeling it, like this is not school, you're not getting graded, you get out of this what you get out of this. If you waste your time, then your time is wasted. So this is not about being a perfect disciple. This is about taking the information from the class, being a critical thinker, and pulling out from this class what serves you most. So if you are not feeling a stretch like this, then move around. You know, I don't feel a stretch like this, so I'm pedaling out my foot so I can get a deeper stretch. I encourage you to do the same. If it doesn't feel like you're stretching, you're not stretching. If it feels excruciatingly painful, then you're kind of overdoing it. So definitely don't want injury. Sometimes we have unevenness in our everyday life, and we need to stretch more on one side or the other to correct that evenness. And this is an opportunity to really think about, what do you do every day that might create that unevenness? If you worked on one side, just try to work on the other. Maybe you're not doing it 100% even, because maybe they are not even to start with, but try to still give attention to both sides. And think about, what in your daily routine is asymmetrical, and how can we use our yoga practice to mitigate the effects of that? Exhale. Slowly roll up to half bend. Exhale, one leg back, your other leg back to plank. Toes under. We'll come up to up dog. Up dog is our prenatal safe modification for knees, chest, chin. Down to cobra, our prenatal safe modification for baby cobra, to make space for the belly. Curl toes under. Exhale to downward dog. This is our first downward dog of the day. So we'll bend our knees, tailbone to the sky. You can pedal out your feet a little bit here. From downward dog, we will walk our feet, we'll inhale our left leg in, step it through, right leg to match, exhale, forward fold, inhale, half bend, inhale all the way up, upward salute, exhale, Tadasana. So let's do that on the other side. That's just our standard warm-up sun salutation, just as a little review. It's just the basic sun salutation without any of our spiced up 45 share method signature poses. Okay, Tadasana, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, now the right leg back. Left leg to match. Plank. Toes curled under. Up dog. Exhale. Cobra. Push back to down dog. Inhale the right knee in, step it through. Left leg comes to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Inhale all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. So that was a review of the basic sun salutation without any spices. Now let's see what we've learned so far in the Share Method Series D sun salutation. So this sun salutation has 9 spices, or 9 extra poses of this 45 key Share Method poses. So far, we have learned 8 of the 9. So the sequence is almost done, but not quite. But let's add shoulder stand, which is our eighth spice to the sequence. Next week, you will get the final pose of the sequence. Super exciting. And then the week after is week, what is it? Sorry, I lost track. Week 42, I can't even believe it. Okay, the next week is week 42, and that will be our review week. And then we'll just have 10 weeks left together. Super sad, but you can join our postnatal class and have more of us. Okay, so here we go. Without further ado, Tadasana. Upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, the right leg, it's live, blips and bloopers and all. The left leg back. Then the right leg back. Toes curled under, up dog. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now, this is our point of insertion every time. So from here, we add our first spice. So that was, the sun salutation is like our boring chicken or just our green leaf salad. So let's say it's a salad, our sun salutation. So let's add a tomato. So we add dolphin. Dolphin for our tomato. Then we have Sphinx, which if you are further along in your pregnancy, you can put a bolster or something under you. From Sphinx, we have Locust, which is not prenatal safe because it's on the stomach. So instead of Locust, we're going to roll over and do upward plank. From upward plank, we're gonna come back down, and our next key pose is bow pose, which again is not prenatal safe. So we'll just do half bow on the left side, which just turns out to be a nice balancing pose as well. From half bow, then we turn around and we do wheel. So for wheel, if you don't feel comfortable doing wheel, a modification is bridge pose. If you do feel comfortable doing wheel, then you can push up to wheel. And from wheel, you can gently come down. And our next pose in this sequence is fish pose. From fish, we go to happy baby. That was our pose last week. From happy baby, we can rock out our spine, reward ourselves for the wheel and all the things we did. And then it's live, and I haven't done this in a while, but sorry. Okay, we're gonna go to shoulder stand. For shoulder stand, you support your back with your arms, legs up. If you don't feel comfortable doing that prenatal, we can just do the inversion and get the benefits from the inversion. So that concludes that sequence. You'll get one more pose next week, and that will really be the conclusion of that sequence. But for now, from shoulder stand, we'll come down, I guess to our side, and then we will push up to downward dog. Inhale the left leg in, step it through. Inhale the right leg in, step it through. Forward fold, inhale half bend, arms all the way up, and exhale, Tadasana. Now let's do that on the other side. I'm having to work a little bit in this class, but it's for a good cause. ShareLove.Fund helps incarcerated women. It's made possible by the paid customers we have on Teachable. So if I have to sweat a little bit, it's for a good cause. So anyway, no free lunches, right? Okay, we'll start in Tadasana, and we'll do that series D of the share method minus one pose, because we haven't learned everything yet. We'll get the full sequence next week, but we'll practice what we've learned so far. So we start out same old with our regular sun salutation. Tadasana, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, right leg back to plank, left leg back to plank. From plank, toes under, up dog, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now this is where we get spicy. From down dog, we add in our first pose, dolphin. From dolphin, we add in sphinx, which the belly cannot touch during pregnancy. So if the belly is going to touch, then please modify sphinx. You can put a bolster under the thighs, and you can put blocks under the arms to create more space in the belly, or you can just not do it at all. Like, there's no points for pushing yourself to do sphinx pregnant. So, you know, use your own good judgment and skip things that don't really seem to jive with the pregnancy. Okay, but this is the modification for sphinx, just so we know how to integrate props with sphinx. So, moving right along, from sphinx, we have the next pose is locust pose, which is not prenatal safe because it is on the belly completely, and you can't put pressure on the belly. So we can modify locust with upward plank. From upward plank, we have our next pose of the Share Method 45 key poses is bow pose, also on the stomach, also not prenatal safe. We can modify with half bow pose, which turns out to be a balancing pose. If you need more support for balancing, you can curl the toes under. From bow pose, you can come back down and we'll make our way on our back where we have wheel. From wheel, if that's too much for you, you can interlace your fingers, do bridge pose. If wheel feels good for you, you should only do it if you've done it consistently when you're not pregnant. You shouldn't try something new like wheel for the first time pregnant. But assuming it's a part of your regular routine, then you can push up to wheel and rock a little back and forth. From wheel, you can come back down and enjoy fish. From fish, you can reward yourself shaking it out with happy baby. From happy baby, we'll build a little strength, pushing up into shoulder stand. The shoulders are there to support you, but it's really the abs that do it. From shoulder stand, you can slowly come down and we'll slowly come to the side so you're not lightheaded and push up to down dog. From down dog, we'll put the right knee in, step it forward, step the left leg in, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Inhale all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. So now you've got 8 of the 9 spices for Sequence D. Let's reward you with a little treat. We'll do our happy baby. Shake out the spine a little bit. Then we'll do one of our stretches, our let's have a tea party, cross the legs. And then bring the ankles in towards you. And you should feel a stretch on one side of the glute. We'll breathe here for a minute. And then we'll do it on the other side. If you feel uncomfortable on your back, you can do double pigeon, or you can do regular pigeon if as long as you're not leaning forward too much and you don't want to put any weight on the belly. But what we're stretching here is the same thing as we stretch in pigeon pose. This is sort of like pigeon on your back. To get more of a neck stretch, you can bring your neck in and roll your head back and feel the connectedness of your spine all the way along the mat. You can give yourself a little hug here. And remembering that you are your own pillar of strength. Trying to keep the sacrum connected to the bottom of the mat. You can even push the knee up with one side and the leg back if that helps you get into a deeper stretch. That is also a way to get this stretch while still making space for the belly, like a little bit farther away from you. So if you don't have so much belly, you can use this knee to get a deeper stretch. But if you do have so much belly, you can plant one foot on the ground and then sort of do this. Obviously, if something hurts, don't do it. Shake it out, come on the other side like you're having a tea party. Oh, so lovely. Grab your ankles and stretch the other glute. You can kind of move your feet up and down to get a deeper stretch. If you're showing, you can do it more like this or do it more like this to make space for the belly. So definitely don't squish the belly. And we'll take a moment here. When you're done, wide-legged, you can give yourself a hug. And then one big unit, roll yourself over so you're not twisting the torso. Slowly take your time to come up to a seated position so you're not lightheaded. And when you're ready, we'll show our gratitude. Namaste. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for flowing with us.